Although Winx Club Reboot is a fresh start for the series and includes some differences from the original, there are also many similarities between the two versions. For example, in both the original series and the reboot, Bloom is introduced as a seemingly ordinary girl living in Gardenia. She rides her bike through a nature-filled area, unaware of the magical journey ahead. This scene is nearly identical to the original series' first episode, where she also rides her bike in a peaceful setting after being woken up by her mom. While the environment looks a bit greener in the original, both versions center around a key part of the story: Bloom discovering the existence of fairies and monsters. The big moment of discovery comes when Bloom unexpectedly uses her powers in a moment of danger. In both versions, her powers awaken when she witnesses an attack by evil creatures and instinctively reacts to save someone. In the original, she protects Stella from Knut and his ghouls, creating a fire barrier that burns the monsters jumping on her. In the reboot, she again defends herself from a forest monster. But this time, it feels more like she's acting out of anger or a growing awareness of her powers. Flora and Stella are seen struggling in the battle, getting thrown into the bushes. Later, the monster focuses on Bloom, and she activates her powers. This core theme, that Bloom is unaware of her magical potential but acts with bravery and instinct, remains intact and mirrors the original perfectly. After defeating the monster, it appears that Stella and Flora realize Bloom is a fairy and invite her to Alfea. In the trailer, we hear Flora telling Bloom that she has to come to Alfea with them. In both versions, Bloom is introduced to the magical world through other fairies. In the original, this was just Stella. But the invitation doesn't happen immediately. Stella faints, and Bloom brings her home first. In the reboot, Flora is also present during this moment. Flora wasn't in the original's first episode battle, so adding her here is interesting. It's a small change, but also a fun one. It allows Bloom to meet more than one member of the Winx Club before arriving at Alfea. The first time we saw Bloom in the reboot, she had a completely different outfit. However, in the final version, her look is actually closer to what she wore in Season 1. In the original series, Bloom's Season 1 outfit includes light blue flared pants with blue stars near the bottom, a tight-fitting aqua crop top with yellow sleeves, and yellow platform sandals. It reflects early 2000s fashion, with simple shapes and exposed skin. In the reboot, she wears dark blue flared jeans with visible seams and blue glitter star patches on the legs. She also wears a mesh white t-shirt layered under a denim vest, with a pink-purple tank top underneath. This updated design adds more texture and layering while still referencing the original. The star patches especially highlight the similarity between the two looks. 2. The transformations. In the original series, Miusa starts her transformation by making the iconic Winx sign with her hands, crossing her wrists and extending her fingers outward. This pose was a staple of the classic transformations, especially in Season 1. Even in later seasons, the Winx girls used that sign at the start of transformations.
Magic Winx! Harmonics!
In the reboot, Miusa makes the same sign after transforming and looks at the camera. Its return in the reboot shows the creators deliberately kept this gesture as part of her identity. There's another reference that fans noticed quickly. In both versions, Miusa is seen dancing or moving across a floor patterned with glowing, multicolored square tiles. The reboot version uses a more vibrant, sparkly disco-style aesthetic with deep purple. Another fairy with many references to the original is Bloom. In almost all of her transformations, we get a close-up of her eyes, and the reboot continues this tradition. After her flame transforms into little butterflies, we dive into Bloom's eyes and watch her complete the transformation. Just like with Enchantix, Believix, and Sirenix, the producers kept this iconic moment to remind us she's still the same Bloom we remember. Another key part of Bloom's transformation is the heart symbol that appears as she changes. At the end of her Magic Winx transformation, Bloom lands and creates a yellow heart shape before posing. In the reboot, 2 heart visuals appear during her transformation. Hearts are a major part of her design across the series. Personally, I'm really happy to see Bloom keeping her heart motif, and I'm curious to see how it will appear in her future fairy forms. But what do you think? 3. The Trix. The Trix, Stormy, Icy, and Darcy received only a few design changes in the reboot, which seems like a deliberate creative choice. If you compare the designs, their basic silhouettes, color palettes, and signature features, like Icy's blue lipstick, Darcy's angled bangs, and Stormy's wild curls, remain consistent. Their core colors, deep blue, purple, and red, are also basically untouched. Most of the changes are minor updates, more detailed textures, and small changes to their outfit cuts or materials, likely to match the CGI animation style rather than to reinvent their look. They still have that sharp, villainous aesthetic. Why so few changes? I think there are a few possible reasons. First, brand identity. The Trix are some of the most recognizable villains in the show. Changing their appearance too much could confuse longtime fans or weaken their iconic status. That said, this also applies to the Winx girls, so this choice still feels a bit inconsistent. Second, contrast. The Trix originally had more timeless and simple designs, so they adapt better to a modern animation style. That might be why the Winx got more updates while the Trix remained largely the same. And third, narrative stability. By keeping their look consistent, the creators may be reinforcing the idea that the Trix never change. They're persistent threats, unlike the Winx girls who go through personal and magical growth. Of course, we'll have to wait and see their civilian forms to say more, but for now, based on their witch forms, the Trix in the reboot are definitely the same trio we grew up watching. 4. Stella's scepter and outfit. Stella's scepter, originally known as the Ring of Celeria, is a magical object tied to the royal family of Celeria. It serves as both a weapon and a symbol of power. In the original, it had a very simple and symbolic design, a golden rod with a flat, sun-like disc at the top, perfectly representing Stella's solar magic and royal heritage. And now, her iconic accessory is back in the reboot. When you think of Stella, the ring and scepter are essential to who she is. In the reboot, it returns with a completely new design. Instead of a flat sun disk, the new version looks more like a magical wand or orb. Some fans even compared it to a Mythic's wand. It has a glowing blue core surrounded by petal or claw-shaped golden structures, and a shorter handle. This style leans more toward fantasy and modern CGI detail than the minimal look of the original. And that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like the video, and comment what you think about the similarities. See you in the next one.